Hello, hello. What's going on? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? So, hey y'all. So, we are going to be discussing a past, a present, and a future. Now, some people say that there's no time, time does not exist. I say that sometimes, but then also when you need time to exist, you also have that option. That's why time is only according to where you are in the galaxy. So, if you are, if we're in a solar system and our distance from the sun and our axis and our orbit gives us a time and da 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 da. A lot of people have clocks, and without clocks, people have no, mentality of time unless they just go by the sky. But then you have some people that, maybe live where it's cloudy or they don't see the sky a lot, or I don't know, like they work in the daytime and just have free time at night. I don't know. But at the same time, people don't have a concept of time if they don't have a clock. If you lock someone in a room for like a few days, they won't know what day it is or what time it is because they have no way of telling. They can guess, but they won't tell. They won't be able to tell what time it is, especially if they're not, in sync with time or clocks or anything. So the reason why I chose to do a video about time and about the past, present, and future is because without time and without those type of apparatuses like clocks, um, you get lost and you won't have a urgency to do anything because it seems like you have forever. Oh, I have forever. I don't have to do that. I'll put that off. Time does not seem real. So when you have a concept of time, then you're more likely to get more things, done. You're more likely to accomplish. You're more likely to have what you need and want because you know what time it is, what day it is. You know, and it's kind of fun to escape into the world of there's no time, and it's so fun to just be free and live in a fantasy world, and that is a lot of people's way of recuperating and then going back into the world of time and then saying, okay, you know now let's get some stuff done. So it's all about where you would like to be and what you're trying to, you know, have at the moment in the present. So if we're wanting something in the present, then there's no past or future because you're living in the present. You're creating the future as you go. So that's why they always say there's only the present. There's no future or past. So if there's only the present and you're creating each moment, then you're traveling with time. Um, But if you don't have a sense of time and you're surrounded and you don't know what time of day it is because you're not outside, then you're in what they call space time. And when you're in space time, you have no, time is different or it moves differently, or you don't know if you're in the past, present, or future, depending on where you are in the galaxy. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you are able to have a way of knowing what time it is, wherever, like on Earth, and you also are able to be in a different place or time space, it's very helpful because you keep your balance. I'll say you'll keep the balance. So it's kind of like when you are in a different country and you don't know what time it is where, back home. And so you're almost like, I don't know what time I should call this person because it could be 3 o'clock in the morning there or 4 o'clock in the morning there, and they could be asleep or blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you have to have, that's why they have all those different clocks in the post office, or where they send off packages so they can know what time it is in get different countries. Okay. Hmm. Also, there's so many people that are writers and they like to write, like science fiction or fantasy. And so sometimes they need an escape outside of time in order to, feel more creative in a way, And so when they feel that creativity and, they have a passion to write and do whatever they need to do, then that's when some of people's best work, is done when they're not under so much pressure. And then, when they are done with all their creating, they, say, okay, I need to go back to the real world and, put out what I've done. And so there's no sense of urgency because it's already completed. Okay. Um, and it's also a way to, allow other types of ideas to come to you as well so that you can be even more creative. Hmm. He said like the polar zones, right? Hmm. So you said the little chop I did. Y'all like my haircut? Yeah, I usually wear wigs or, I flat iron my hair. And it was like probably this long, but I decided to cut it. Something different, just for something different. Ah, yes, I went grocery shopping this morning and um I was trying like I usually spend a lot of time in the grocery store because I go down every aisle. That's just who I am. I just do that. But this time I really didn't. I just got the stuff that I wanted. I went down a few aisles that were unnecessary, but I found all the stuff that I needed and I got all that done plus my car what do you call it? Registration, license, inspection, and all that kind of stuff. I got that done. So then I got back home in time enough to, do a video. So it's like I was very adamant about doing certain things today and I got them done. So what's my favorite fruit this season? Oh, I just eat whatever fruits I got. I eat what the kids like, because if it were me, I'd be buying all these different types of exotic fruit, but they won't eat it and they'll look at me crazy. So I have to eat the regular old regular smuggler fruit, like grapes, oranges, apples, stuff like that. So I prefer more exotic fruit, but yeah, I will eat what the kids like. Plus, there's vitamins and stuff in there, so it's good anyway for this type of season, this time of year. Um, yeah, so like I have on this little. I guess you could call this outfit fancy. I didn't have the jacket on though when I went to the grocery store. I just had the shirt on, and I have some like riding pants and some like I guess you could call them riding boots. And I was just walking around getting my groceries. Uh, you said too exotic. Hey, yeah, I don't know. Like, um, I'm the type of person that if I didn't if I lived alone or had less picky children, I would like try a lot of different things, new things that I haven't tried before because it's like, okay, I've eaten an orange, I've eaten an apple. Okay, what's next? Come on. But I guess, some people like what they like. I think if you try different types of fruits and drinks, like I know Starbucks has a lot of different drinks with more exotic fruit, and I think the kids will definitely try fruits and drinks because I know, yeah, that they have before, so, but not just straight up eating it because they feel it's too weird. Um, so yeah, time is almost like um, a way to let you know where you are as far as what you're trying to do, right? So I was watching this, I guess it was a fantasy series with my daughter, and it was like, it looks like it took place back in the Victorian era, but it was futuristic. And so it's like they had a lot of technology based in steam and electricity. So I guess you call it steampunk or whatever. But the cartoon looked really futuristic. It was a series. I think it was called. I don't know what it was. Start with an A. But there was no concept of time because the time period was written as if it existed in the future, yet in the present. But to the watcher, it seems like it's in the past because our technology has surpassed what we're even watching. So when we were watching this series, it was almost like we were in the past, present, and the future at the same exact time. Um, I think it's kind of like how they made the movie or the like Wakanda when there were like past, present, and future types of environments, the cities, the people, the outfits, and how they dressed, and the technology they had. So I think that was kind of like an example of having all these time periods merge. But there was always a balance. And when they would go out into the outside world, they would have appropriate ways of, fitting in and the clothes that they would wear and, the cars that they would have. And da, da, da. So it was not the same as being, back where they were, Wakanda. So it's almost like there's two different worlds, and you're almost going to have to keep a balance and keep your mind able to function in both, or whichever one you choose to function in the most. I like, as a Pisces, both because, like, I mean, what is my sign? Two fish. I'm very dual. You said, what do I recommend the first elixir to take? Well, it always starts out with the phases. So just whatever phase, the first phase is definitely what I would start with. Or if you're nervous about taking anything, there's gold, silver, platinum, and copper supplements that are available as well that you can start to try out to see if you feel any difference. Then I would definitely move on to phase one because the silver is good for your immune system, helps you from getting sick. The copper is good for your skin and the speed of a lot of nerves and functions in your body because copper is a good conductor. So is the gold. That probably will work even faster. Just helps you think faster. Um, and the platinum also gives you a lot of energy. And you like energy, and you have something to make make that energy. Oh, sorry. If you have something to you know accomplish really, um, and you're behind on it, and you need a lot of energy, platinum is definitely a good supplement to take, or phase two if you're going to do the phases. So definitely recommend those. Uh, and everybody always asks me, can I take it when I'm pregnant? That's up to you. Um, I'm not a doctor. So the past, present, and future walk into a bar. It was tense. That's funny. Um, yeah, and the link for my Etsy store is below in the I'm gonna put it up here too, but it is in the description bar. So just scroll down a bit, and I'm going to try to find it, and I'm going to put it in the comments. So no worries. There's also a new phase. It's 10. I think it's the last phase. So if y'all haven't tried, if yeah, it's called TIN, like the element 10. Let me find my store. I have to find the link. Hold on, you guys. Here we go. So, all right. I should have these ready for y'all, right? And I also have a occult supply shop as well that y'all probably have shopped at before. They sell like incense, candles, all the any type of supplies that you need for your altars or just whatever in general. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. And I'll put that link here too. For the holidays, if y'all are trying to shop, definitely recommend getting some spiritual supplies. There you go. So those are my links. What is my take on the chakra system? Like I always say, there's very dualistic views of things, and I always say if I need to reference that, I can. If I don't feel like I need to reference it, I won't. So it's almost like a choice. I have a choice of what I choose to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like most people do. Like just because you learn about something does not mean you believe it. We have to be able to say, just because I know about something does not mean I always believe that. I may want to believe it so I can understand it and like dissect it a little bit more to see if this is worth learning more about. But on the other hand, it's like I don't have to believe everything I read, just like you don't have to believe everything you hear. So I always keep that as my perspective. I learn about it and I dissect it more if I want to know more about it. And when I don't want to, think about that, then I don't. So it's almost like so many people get into the habit of learning something and then believing it as if it's the truth. And I think this is what traps a lot of people because they don't know that it's a choice. Okay? Everything is a choice because everything could be mental. And if you read something, if you learn something, and what are you going to do? Imagine. That's how you're creating the situation. And your imagination does not exist in time. So therefore, you're already creating outside of time. And when you start creating outside of time, what you're doing is creating a scenario in your head saying, okay, well, if that is true, then this makes sense. And I can believe that, or this, and that. But you have to remember all the puzzle pieces were given to you, and you just imagine the bigger picture in your mind. There, it's real to you, or there, it makes sense to you. But without another person's input or idea to give you pieces to put together, you may have never come to that conclusion of what something is. So outside of space-time. So this is how we're able to create the worlds that we live in different times and dimensions by our imagination. So our imagination exists outside of time. This is why when you have a lot of logical people doing things by the book, by the clock, by the budget, writing down every number, there's no room for creativity. There's no room for embellishment. It's all about, the numbers. So that's why when, scientists and artists and writers, write or, give their theories. It's not always for those people who are unable to allow themselves to use their imagination as often as they, would like to. It's about, you know, the balance. Um, and this is what I tell the kids before I drop them off every morning. I say, you know what? Just because they're teaching it does not mean it's true or that you have to believe it. Just learn it, pass your test, and learn and study what you choose to study or believe what you want to believe about whatever that you were taught. Think that's the difference between being blindfolded versus being very open to suggestion and open to, being able to have a choice in what you believe, even though a lot of people are forced to learn a certain thing. That doesn't mean that they believe it. Your teacher in the third grade is not a reference point. Your teacher in the sixth grade or the seventh grade is not a reference. You can't put that in a book, for research. So, okay. You said keep in mind that they're telling one side. True. And, with someone with a very active imagination, this can also, uh, they can also create the other side. If only one side of the story is told, a person with a very good imagination will automatically probably start to try to create the other side. So that's why a lot of people are, trying to deal with facts, numbers, statistics, this, and that, because they want to keep a balance between, mhm, the two sides of reality, I would say. I will also say that, time moves, I would say time moves a lot slower in your imagination, or it can move very fast depending on what it is you're doing. Just like in dreams, when you have a dream and time moves differently in dreams, it's because it's taking place in your imagination. Your eyes are closed, you can't see nothing. Time moves different in your imagination. So just think of it like that. And then when you wake up, there's clocks everywhere. There's a phone with the time on it. There's time on the computer screen. There's time in your car, and a clock in your car, on the TV if you're watching news or whatever. So everywhere you look, you're reminded of the time, the sky, the sun, So also it keeps you moving in a certain direction, and checking off lists like, okay, it's morning time. What do I do in the morning? It gives you a routine. So when you are, dreaming, you don't have a list of things to do or check off. When you're in the imagination, you don't have, oh, it's time for coffee or it's time for breakfast. Do you even eat in dreams? Unless that's part of the dream. Do you have responsibilities in dreams? Do you have to be somewhere at a certain time in dreams? No, because it doesn't exist there, because it's in your imagination. And this is why a lot of people get all these ideas from, oh, I had a dream or I had a vision or blah, 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 blah. And, or they weren't concentrating on time and they were, being lazy and just sitting around or creating something using that part of their mind and their imagination. And then that they come up with these, great ideas. So that's why I'm saying past, present, and future don't exist in the imagination. It's all about what you're trying to create. What does it mean to have to share a dream with someone? Have a shared dream with someone? I don't think I've ever had a shared dream with anyone. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the details. The details won't be the same. And I'm so I wouldn't believe it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. whatever. I do believe that it's possible, but at the same time, I don't believe the person that's telling me that they had a shared dream. Unless I don't say nothing and they're telling me about their dream and it's very similar, then I might say, okay, well, it's common because you can look up the way to analyze that dream and the symbols are there. So many people have that dream. So I would write it off that way. I don't have to believe that I shared a dream with anyone. Because to me, that is a way of imaginative manipulation. That's what I'm going to call it. Imaginative manipulation. If you want to form some type of bond with someone, you always talk about like, "Oh, I have a dream with you in it," or "I think we shared a dream," or they'll try to tell you something that they may feel that you've had a dream about, or something like okay, and everybody's had that dream or something similar to it. Next, so I would never buy buy that okey doke. I call it. I would never buy it, but I would play along with it to see where it goes, but I would never truly buy it. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. um, I'm curious. I'm like, where is he going with this? Where is she going with this? Where are they going with this? Let's just see, because I don't. Oh, really? Yes, I believe. I believe you trying to run the okey doke, but I believe the okey doke is being ran. So I'm gonna see where it go. Um, that's what I do. I love you, sprinkle roll, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle. We don't do round asking people. We don't go around asking people personal business like that. Good, because a lot of people they'll just tell you their dream and they'll think that you've had a similar dream, like 'cause it's a common dream. Um, you had a dream about me. I don't know, won't no problems. You wear black a lot for a reason. LOL. I had a dream with me, about me, inside me, around a galaxy, around a universe, around the multiverse. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's gonna be my answer. If anybody tell me they had a dream about me. I had a dream about you dreaming about me. How about that? Sprinkle, sprinkle. What does it mean when you remember your previous dreams in your dreams, but not when you're awake? It means you're more focused in your dream, and as soon as you wake up, there's so many different things that are pouring in that you have to do that it just goes away. I think if you tell yourself, remember my dreams, you're giving your mind a subliminal message, and when you wake up, you'll probably have better memory of your dreams. Uh, yeah. What does it mean when? Yeah. Okay. How does the law of rhythm work based upon emotional or physical, mental, bad feelings, however you want it to work? Like I'm not. Remember, I'm not a believer. I'm a creator. I only believe when I need to study. Then I start to create. So the law of rhythm is under your control if you choose to control it. And a lot of people orchestrate their own rhythms. Okay, so that's kind of easy. They orchestrate just like they orchestrate on TV and in the news and all that kind of good stuff. Orchestrate, orchestrate it, babe. Make it happen. When you go and see a play, that's orchestrated. You go and see a movie, that's orchestrated. When you turn on the news, sadly, that's orchestrated. So just orchestrate it. Okay, that's what most people do anyway. Uh, Basically, fake it till you make it. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Uh, think all these millionaire coaches that go around talking about, oh, this is how you become a millionaire, are millionaires when they start. Heck no. They be faking it till they make it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, a lot of the advice that people give, oh, live the lifestyle that you want to, live the type of lifestyle you want, not the lifestyle you're in. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's called catfishing, baby. But if someone called it catfishing, you'd be mad. But if they say, oh, live the life you want now, then it's a totally different thing. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Catfish the life you want now. Fraud. How can I put it in a way that people will accept it? Use the law of rhythm, uh, the law of attraction, live the lifestyle you want now, not the one you have. Hang around people that you want to be like instead of the people where you are. But then when you try to hang around people, they looking at you like you crazy. Like, what are you doing here? Like, didn't you just say hang around people you want to be like? You lying? All right. I'm gonna add lie to the list too. So, maybe those were the incorrect words to use, but if you're giving a message, it needs to make sense on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Is it all these damn laws? If you add all them laws up, there ain't no laws. Those were created as well. So, people will do what they have to do and then, say, oh, that's not the right thing. Oh, well, you guys need to go buy my books. All of them. And, I feel like I've read all of my books, even the ones from the other channel, and I still agree with them. Still. I mean, they may not seem morally correct, but that's still what I feel, even right now. I mean, I might feel a different way if I were a different person, yes, but I'm not. So therefore, I can only feel the way that I feel. Okay. If I try to see from a different perspective, I will only see and temporarily have a feeling as a person would have if, whoever they were. But that's not the real feeling that I would have. So that's why I would say, like, you can always look at other people's perspectives, like walk a mile in their shoes, but you will never truly feel what they feel because you're not them. You weren't raised like them. You don't have the same mentality as them. Beliefs, ability to create may be different. So you might be from a different part of the country or the world. So you're not going to have the same perspective, even if someone tries to force you to see from their perspective. It's not ever going to work because that's not you. I mean, people will pretend to say, okay, well, just like someone, let's use time as a reference. If someone went, like, let's use the movie like about time travel everybody's familiar with as an example. So if you went into the future, like Back to the Future, it's almost as if you have to try to blend in, fit in, and act like you belong there. But really, your mind and your perspective is still in the time period that you are from. How you think is going to be from the time period that you are from. How you make decisions and use logic and create is going to be from the time period that you're from. Now, you may learn something in the past or the future, but you're still going to be thinking from the time period that you are from. You may feel bad or sorry for, or good and happy for, people in the past or the future, but at the same time, you're going to still be feeling those feelings from your own perspective. And you'll know that, okay, everything's going to get better if you're from the future, Or if you're from the past, you may feel, oh, well, I don't know if it's going to get better, so I might as well not invest in those feelings of hope. Or if someone's from the future, oh well, it'll be all right. So you're less, you know, um, vulnerable with them. Oh, don't worry, it's gonna work itself out. Don't worry. So, like when you're in the present, that's your time to create as well. You don't have to always escape to create, but it is a nice place to have the luxury of, being very creative and not being under pressure of time and distances and that, so that when you get back into your present moment, you're able to just do what you need to do. Um, and I feel that we can time travel as individuals in our imagination, um, especially if you have time. Now, this is funny to me. Uh, if you have time, this is why it's an oxymoron. And you have the type of job or career where you don't have to be on a schedule all the time. You can take time to pause time and then go back to what you need to do on a schedule. It's almost just like that. Okay. Mhm. So many creators try to pull you into their created reality. That's true. And that's why you have to never believe. You always need to just, okay, I choose to learn, not believe. Because if you believe, then you'll start to become part of that reality. But if you're just there to learn and observe, like Back to the Future, you can go in and out as you please. Okay. You're not there to believe, you're there to learn. You're there to, see what you need to see and then get out. That's it. Now, because the idea of time travel may not have been invented in the past, does not make it non-existent in, in the past, especially if it's already been invented in the future or the present. And even in the past, people would time travel by telling stories of the past. So it's always existed. It's just a mental, imaginative um, journey that can seem so real that the person gets sucked up into it. But if they know they're only there to learn at any given moment, they are right back to where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Or right in the present moment that they want to be right now. So you have to know that. Um, hmm Have you heard of the rose? Uh-uh. And I only look at stuff that's interesting to me, like the stuff that I'm attracted to. I don't try to learn everything, baby. I'm attracted to this. I'm gonna learn about that. I'm attracted to that. I'm gonna learn about that. But at the same, like I don't just pick random stuff. What am I attracted to? That's what I go towards. Um. hmm don't ask me any weird questions that the video is not, pertaining to, because I'll just give you the wrong answer on purpose or a silly answer. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like people also try to take advantage of people that think a certain way, and it's almost like, yeah, see what you're doing. Do you know how to connect to dreams to guide yourself and guard yourself? However you create it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Like I told y'all, it's how you create it. However you want to create it. Y'all got to start thinking like creators instead of other stuff. That way, questions don't have to be asked. You just create the answer. That's what you got to do. You got to create the answer that you want. Orchestrate. What's the biggest thing you have manifested? Mm. Um, I don't really think about those type of things. um, but I don't know, like, it hasn't happened yet. You said you would not reincarnate back on Earth. Why would you need to reincarnate? Unless you believe in death. That would be the only way you would need to reincarnate. Like, don't believe in anything and you won't have to do anything. You see how it works? Some people that are very witted, they say, "Oh, this is not real. This is a simulation." That way they don't have to believe in it. That way you can't be trapped if it's a simulation. You can't be trapped in a simulation if it's not real. You can't be trapped on Earth. You can't be trapped in death. You can't There's no such thing as reincarnation unless you believe in death. So if you're speaking to someone who believes in death, you can use that term to make a conversation with them. But at the same time, if you don't believe in it, then all you're doing is teaching or speaking in a language that someone understands, that you have an entirely different language that you also speak, you know? So you don't have to believe in anything. That's the beauty and the best part of anything. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. What role does the present have to do with the masses? I don't believe in any of that, so I don't know. Whatever it's supposed to mean to the people that believe in it, that's what it means. That's what you have to. That's how you have to look at stuff. You can't ask questions if you don't want, like, if you don't want something, don't ask about it. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask. If you don't even want it to exist, don't ask about it. Hmm. The who and the what? Is that dude from that R&B group back in the early 2090s, whatever? I don't know who that is. Um, okay. Look, I don't know. What I do know is I don't believe in orchestrations unless I'm studying them. Hmm. So, like, you guys probably did not go into a lab and look under a microscope and discover whatever viruses that are being orchestrated um, by people that want you to believe something. You know, did y'all do the lab work? Did y'all come up with the hypotenuse? Do y'all have a theory behind it, or did somebody tell you? You know, so I prefer not to believe anything that I don't, you know, search for myself. Just just trying to teach y'all a few things. Mm. So if you don't believe in certain things, it's almost like you guys asking me about some fictional characters that don't exist and where they're at, how they're doing. Like, I have to make it up. You know what I'm saying? Um, so when you guys ask me about stuff that is on the news and orchestrated and stuff, or if y'all trying to be silly and talk code so other people don't understand, I'm only going to see it from the perspective that I'm choosing to see it at right now. So if I'm not trying to answer questions based on coded coded talk, I'm not going to read the question that way. I'm going to read it as, oh, something you saw on the news that I don't even believe in. You know what I'm saying? So the best, if you're going to ask a question, it's best to be very It's best just to say the question as you want it to be answered. Okay. Broop, broop, broop. I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that if y'all saw it on the news instead of discovered it yourself, I don't believe in it. Okay. So, even if you read it in a book, if you haven't created your own way of viewing and seeing, don't believe in it. That's the best thing I can tell you. If you want to be on the same page as someone, then you can talk about what is possible. You know what I'm saying? Not what do I think about something. What is possible? Do you think this is possible? Anything's possible doesn't mean I believe in it. And therefore, I couldn't answer a question of someone who did believe in it. See the difference? You said we're all time travelers, right? When you visit, most people are nice worldwide. They are. Well, I wouldn't know because I'm not trying to see if people are nice or not because I wouldn't care. Y'all don't ever. My background is fake, baby. Y'all see that? If you believe in this, that's your problem. I'm so sorry for you. I keep trying to tell people, get out of that. Like whatever's back here means nothing. Okay, it's a fake background ordered off of Amazon that is just hanging up here. I was too lazy to change anything. I'm not trying to coordinate. I don't take time to set up stuff in the background and give you secret messages. You know why? Because I don't care and I'm too lazy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, get it out your head. It's never going to be that. Okay, ask another Pisces. We are lazy. Okay. I promise you, if I had an all black thing, it would be back here. Okay, I might just order one. And I might just have one made that said, this background don't mean nothing. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all keep trying to read symbols and signs. Yes, that's great. Wonderful. Like I guess I'd be reading it too. Let's see what this means. A window, some trees, a fancy wall, and a dirty black and white floor. Okay. This means I have a nice house. Or do I? You see? It means nothing. So stop. It means I don't want y'all to see what's behind here, okay? I don't want y'all to see all of this. Okay? The truth is behind this. Sprinkle, sprinkle. This, I told you it meant nothing. And even that stuff don't mean nothing. It's just stuff that I bought and can give away at any time. It means nothing. So, yeah, please stop trying to decode the back. It means nothing. I promise you. It means I'm lazy and didn't want to change it to try to match up with what I was talking about and all this kind of, I don't do all that. I'm too lazy. I promise you. I put on what was warm today. I'm too lazy. I'm not trying to do that no more. I do it. And if I know it means something to make people mad, I just mess with people on purpose because that's fun for me. Okay? So that's all I'm trying to tell y'all. Believe what you want to believe, but also don't believe anything. Folks are always trying to decode something. I like the decoding stuff too. It is fun, but I don't try to sit there and decode everything. It gets annoying to people, and I've learned that. Like, oh my gosh, like, and I'll mess with people sometimes by over decoding, and just to mess with them, to see how it is. And I think a lot of people who are looking for something, and they keep looking for answers and looking for this and looking for that, just make it up, baby. Create it, and you'll find it. I promise you. If you make it, you can find it. Just like when you're looking for a job. Oh, I need to find a job. If you make a job, you won't have to look for one. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. Y'all need to learn. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm looking for a job. What are you doing? Oh, I just made a job. You see the difference? One will be looking, looking, and looking until they find one, and one will have already made one, and they will probably get all the money instead of just some of the money. you know? So please stop looking and start making. Start creating your own. That's all I can tell you. If you don't believe in time and you feel like time does not exist, then create. Use that non-time to create. When you need time, is always there because it is an idea. You see how it works? You don't have to believe in it, but it's there if you need it. Okay. You said time and reality are a construct, if that's what you believe. You have to put that at the end of every sentence. If that's what you believe. Because it can be something totally different to someone else, especially if they're the type of person that creates what they choose to, to think. hmm So yeah, I know a lot of you said, can you make what you want? Exactly. Have I astral travel or remote viewed before? Yeah, I have a remote control that I push buttons on, and magically I can view, it's even on my computer. Magically I can view, a bird's eye view depending on what movie I'm watching. Are they in a helicopter? Or are they in an airplane? I mean, anybody can astral travel. It's all a perspective. You know what I'm saying? And why do you think they can do so? Um, mhm. You can astral travel right on your TV, on your computer, on Instagram, on all of it. All you got to do is find a photo or a picture that's somebody up in a helicopter and look at it. That's all you got to do. That's astral traveling. Or watch a movie with it in it. So we're in a place now where people have created a way for you to see from their perspective. So um, using your imagination, you're going to be able to see whatever you choose to see. And by being able to create what people choose to see, you're giving them your perspective. So, you said Pisces always throwing shade. Oh my, that's not shade. I'm teaching. If y'all think it's shade, y'all believe it's shade. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's gonna be my answer for everything. Y'all, if that's what you believe, you can't. I don't believe in shade. You can't throw shade if you don't believe in it. I could say I'm throwing out electrical signals to you right now, and it's gonna hit you through the screen and make you dance. Okay, but guess what? If you don't believe in that, then you don't believe in that. Okay. Pisces is always in a different dimension than anyone else. If you believe in dimensions, y'all gotta know. I'm trying to teach y'all as like, quote unquote, y'all say I'm shading y'all. I'm trying to teach y'all at the same time. Y'all should be taking notes. Y'all believe in notes. Y'all should be taking notes to reference. Can I decode Amarion? Okay, he was this dude in a group. He could dance and he could sing. Sprinkle, sprinkle. There you go. That's so easy. Y'all need to ask me something more challenging, please. Pisces gang. Okay. Read the definition. I don't need to read the definition. I know who he is. All right, sprinkle, sprinkle. How do you use time to balance different aspects of self? Um, how do I use time to balance different aspects? I only use time when I have to be somewhere or, have to do something in a certain amount of time. But then other than that, I'm not looking at clocks. So um, I guess the answer is I just do what I want until it's time to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm doing now. I'm doing what I want until it's time to go and pick up my kids. That's all. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, we talk about time travel. Um, when you guys watch my video, you know, there's probably a couple of seconds delay. So that's, I'm the past, you're hearing the present. And if you watch it tonight, I'll be in the future, but people will still be watching the past. And then if they click on the live comments, they'll be watching the present comments. So time is something that people choose to believe in or not choose to believe in. Clocks are measures of that chosen belief, and that's about it. Okay, that's all I can tell you. Okay, let me tell y'all what I feel like time is. Time could be like a measurement of oxygen or a measurement of some type of gas in the air. And if you have a gauge that measures the amount of a certain gas in the air, you're going to keep looking at that gauge and your mind is going to start to create, you know, issues depending on what that gauge says, you know. So for example, if someone made it up, just let's be creative today. Let's make up a gas that means, you're going to die if you breathe too much of this gas. And let's make a gauge that is very random and allows the person to think that this gas is increasing, um, and see how they mentally react or see how they operate differently or see what they do or see how it changes their balance and their schedule and their thinking and da, da, da. Let's see what's going to happen because there's no gas, but they think there is. So they're going to live their life according to this gas meter in their hand that reads the type of poisonous gases in the air everywhere they go. It's going to control where they go, how long they go for, and when they're going to get back home, how much they breathe, how deeply they breathe. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to base their whole entire life on a fake, made up thing because someone told them it was real and they believed it. And then they may see someone over there who don't believe any of that, that are just running around, taking deep breaths, doing backflips, and talking about whatever. I do what I want, and looking at them like a fool, like you're so foolish. But who's really the fool? Okay. So I always tell people, believe what you want, but don't believe it at the same time. Learn. He said, I need you to help you with the stock market. I'm not a farmer. No, nothing about no livestock. Okay. I mean, I know I live, in Texas and stuff, but that's not my occupation, baby. Uh, you see, what are my thoughts on minimalism? Boring. Minimalism is, I would feel like I could never live in a minimalistic society because I would be bored. I mean, you know what's minimalist? A psychiatric ward. That's minimalist to me. Y'all wanna live in a psychiatric ward? Whenever I see people's house that are minimalist, I say, ooh, psychiatric ward. Don't want to live there. I need some stuff, you know. hmm And but it's true because some people that like minimalistic things, they're highly triggered because they believe a certain thing and they're not learning from it. They're just believing it. If if I might have a trigger here or there, but I don't believe in the trigger. You see, there's a difference. I use them to do certain things when I feel like doing certain things. And when I don't, the trigger is gone because I can choose. Okay. We need lively environments, not basic lives. Exactly. I need to be able to create something out of the junk in my house if I need to. Okay. Literally, like if I had to create something and make something or invent something, I have all the pieces. I know. I won't have to borrow nothing. I don't have to call nobody up and order nothing or borrow anything because I'm pretty sure I have it. Do you believe everyone is human? What's a human? You know, somebody created that word and the meaning of it. So whatever they created, they don't even whoever created that word and the meaning of it may not even believed in it themselves. Y'all gotta think on that level. Mm. It's kind of like, people that make up stories, fantasy fiction. Do they believe the story or do they just write it? And if they like their story and they chose to believe in it temporarily, just to experience the story, um, but they know that, you know, it's not something that they truly believe in, then they can go in and out as they choose. hmm Can time be compressed? No, because it depends on if you believe in time or not. Um, can a fake gas that does not exist be compressed? In your imagination, it sure can. That's how much. That's the truth. Like, if someone was writing a story and they made up a fake explosive gas and they named it something, right? And they can compress that gas into a tank. Definitely, it exists there. But to the person who made it up and wrote it and created it, it only exists in their imagination and on paper because they created it. So they can make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's how you have to think. Since you didn't create time, you don't have to believe in it. But if you need it, it's been created. Think of it like that. Can we destroy ourselves completely? Do you exist? Or do you believe you exist? Or did you create yourself? We don't know. Whatever you choose to believe. You said our soul. What is a soul? It's whatever you want it to be, whatever you need it to be, whatever you need people to think it is, whatever you need it to be right now in order to come to a certain conclusion in your studies. So my definition of a soul is just like that gas, a fictitious gas. It's there if you need it. You can make it do what it do, or it's a creation that you can create something similar to, or recreate, or embellish. Just like a shoe. Take a shoe. You know how many different designs of shoes are out there? What was the original shoe? Some leaves tied up on your feet. Okay. Shoes did not exist back then, but people had leaves tied up on their feet. Now, shoes exist. Or do they? Someone created upon the first original idea of what a shoe could even be, because they did not exist. Do you believe in shoes? Or do you simply just wear them? hmm You come here to fulfill a purpose. Once you complete your task, then you can leave. There is no purpose that I am here to create. I've already, if there's a purpose, then I'll create it. Whatever purpose that I create for myself is what I'll be doing. And right now, in this moment in time, this is my purpose. Girl, your purpose comes from your soul. If you believe in a soul, your purpose comes from your creation. Create a purpose. So many people are walking around talking about, oh, what is my purpose? How did you find your purpose? I created my purpose. Just like the first person on earth that was wandering around naked created their purpose. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you think the first person on earth, or the first human beings, or the first person into consciousness said, oh, I have a purpose and I can't leave here until I find it? No, they made one, baby. They made one. They created a purpose. Okay. You know what their purpose was? To create their own purpose. So you see why people keep saying, learn but don't believe, create. This is how a lot of people control the masses. They don't believe in anything, but everyone else does. So guess what? They have fun with y'all, okay? Some people are born with God-given gifts, though. If you're born with something, does it mean that whatever you're born with has to be cultivated? You know what I'm saying? Because it has to be cultivated. That's the thing. Like, you could be all musicians and all singers and all artists. They did not come out of the womb with like these spectacular talents. They had to be cultivated. They had to be learned. They had to see an example. They had to use their imagination to see and have a perspective of their own through the example. So their ability to create and see and learn by example, and not to believe in something allowed them to be talented on a scale that is unmatched. And that's what I'm trying to tell a lot of you guys. They didn't ask a bunch of questions. They studied, learned, and created. That's all they did. One only learns what one teaches self. Can I moderate? No, I don't take moderations. I don't moderate. But even the name Egypt, you know, depending on what your belief is, while you're learning, a lot of people have their own idea or own, definition of what the word Egypt means. And some people believe that it's a concept, just like people believe time is a concept. Because you have a lot of people that associate Egypt with being timeless, or ancient, or modern. They have this Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, Modern Egypt, Ancient Egypt, Egypt before it was in Egypt and was called Kemet. There's too many different ways to refer to Egypt, and there's been too many types of people that have lived there to even call anyone Egyptian, or to recognize anyone who's Egyptian, because there's so many people that have lived there, throughout the ages. So, no, you can't moderate. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Your father always said, "Make a way." Make a way, baby. Everybody makes a way. They have to ask and see what other people are doing, and see a way that's already made, and then they go down that path. But at the same time, there are people that make their own way. And when you make your own way, you don't have to ask anybody. Or if you follow a path that not many people are on, then you don't have to worry about that. Or if you find a totally different way to get there, then you don't have to worry about it either. Right. You said it's almost like the pig is scared, but it's also recognized as swine. Um, I don't eat pigs, so I don't know. All I know is the oldest reference I have ever known about pigs is Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, oink oink here, oink over there, and then the story in the Bible where Jesus cast these demons into some pigs. That's the only thing I know about pigs. I don't eat them. Blah 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 blah. I don't eat that pork. Okay. Your father always said, "Make a way." Shira got me nodding your head. Got you nodding your head? Okay. Your father plays the piano. I play the piano too. Sprinkle, sprinkle. He said, "My father plays the piano. My mother sings. My aunt sings. My brother sings." Girl, y'all got a whole music group over there, huh? Like, mm-hmm. That's right. So yeah, time is a choice, and it also is an option. And it's only a choice if you have the option. You know what I mean? I know that's weird. Like, if you don't have the option of not being in time, then it's because you're always busy with things that you have to do. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, because there's, y'all know, those people that go off on quote unquote spiritual journeys, or, you know, just walk around like Jesus and the disciples did. You know, they didn't need to be somewhere at a certain amount of time. They didn't have no schedule. They had to do any of things. They just went and learned and talked about whatever they wanted to talk about and do whatever they wanted to do, um, because they weren't on anybody's schedule. The only time Jesus was on schedule and mentioned time, at least to my reference, was when he said somebody gonna turn me in by the time that rooster say something in the morning. You know, oh sprinkle sprinkle money. So his time was up basically. It was time for him to go back to wherever he came from. Sprinkle sprinkle. So time didn't exist until he was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? um, could Jesus casting demons into pigs symbolize them being filth? I mean, what health benefits could consuming pigs ever bring? Well, to me, well, it was said that Jesus spoke in parables. So a pig might not have been a pig. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think it's kind of like slang. When people say pig, they may think police officer, or a child might think of actual pig, or they could think of a farmer could think of some type of apparatus that they use on the farm that's called a pig. So, how many definitions of pig are there? Um, Depending on your perspective and your mindset and belief at the time, and how you're following the story, is what you will see the pig as, or a pig as. If you can see all three or more definitions, then you can interpret the story more ways than one. So then you could say, okay, well, was pig filth? Was no, a pig was a pig. Whatever the pig needed to mean at that time is what it meant. So it's almost like dimensions. If you know the concept of dimension, on one dimension, a dot. Then you have a dot and a line on the second dimension. And you have a cross. Uh, then you have 3D. Then you have 4D and 5D. Da, da, da. Each time a dimension increases, so does the possibilities and dimensions of one item or one concept or one idea or one name or one being. You know what I'm saying? So on a two-dimension drawing, this lip gloss would not have as many dimensions or perspectives or, you know, details uh, or truths. Okay, we wouldn't even know the shape dimensions unless we did some math, right? And then when this is created in a 3D mold, and da da da. Look, what dimension is this, baby? This is levelupcosmetics.us. Get your lip gloss. This one is in boutique. Shameless plug. Okay. Y'all go get that. Y'all see how I worked that in there? I'll put that in. What dimension is our imagination and thoughts on? Whatever dimension you are believing in at the time to learn about dimensions. That's what it's like. Okay, so I'll give y'all a really good example. If you were, in order to believe in something, it has to be true to you, and you have to live your life by that belief. no matter what it is. So you'd have to believe in a world where that belief was true, which means that belief would hold you to that world as long as you believed it. As soon as you stop believing in that belief, you're now in a different dimension or a different world. Now, you may still have the same people around you. You may still have the same car, the same clothes, and stuff like that. But now your mind and your imagination and your beliefs have changed. And so your world has also changed, meaning your perspective has changed of the world. So you're no longer living in the reality that you once lived in because you don't believe certain beliefs anymore or things anymore. You don't believe those things anymore. So it's like you're almost free to explore, a different perspective of life. So how does this happen? We come out of the womb, all of us humans, but how are these living beliefs and everything, and how does from race to race or religion? Every word that you speak is a belief. Every idea that you learn and believe is a belief. Every definition of a word is a belief. Okay. So automatically, when you start learning whatever language you're learning as a child, someone has to teach you, okay, this means this means that, this means this means that, this is good, this is bad, this is this and that. If no one taught a newborn child and that child grew up, you know, raised by, wolves or whatever, their belief system and their perspective of the world would be totally different than someone who had grown up with parents who taught them all these different beliefs. So it's like that. It's like when you get to the age where you're old enough to choose not to believe, but only to learn and observe and not be limited to beliefs, you can create whatever you want those words to mean, or you don't have to believe that they mean anything. They're just tools, you see. So, for example, if I said, um, if I had if I was lived in an isolated island and I don't like the word pen, I might change the word and teach the child that I have that this is a something else. And as long as I refer to this item as whatever name I created for it, that's what the child would learn. That's what the child would go around calling this. That's what the child would identify this with. That's what the child would believe this is. When they leave off that island and they ask for something to write with, they're going to ask for the word that I taught them, and people are going to look at them strange. What's that? I need something to write with. Oh, you mean a pen? Yeah, a dingle hopper. There's a fork, exactly. It's like Ariel going around saying, I need a dingle hopper. And then she's going to put it in her hair because it's even worse. So it's what you believe, what you were taught, and how long you choose to believe it. And if you can create another word for it, then you have your own way to create, your own way to do things. Dingle hopper is now probably in the dictionary, or at least the Urban Dictionary, because of that movie and somebody created, or whoever created that word. I'm sure it was a word before, but whoever created that word and named a fork after it, I don't know. So what you were taught is not what you have to believe. So all the words that form a sentence to ask the question that you ask, you don't even have to ask that question. whatever it is that you want, create it in your own imagination. And just like someone imagined, okay, well, I need to create a word for, what are we going to call them? Humans. They may have gotten it from a base language or some scientific meaning that somebody else created and made it in the past. But everybody draws off of, everyone else's creation. But the meaning can be different and the creation can be different. So if you have a question, create the answer. If you don't like that because you're not very creative, then you live under a belief system. And it's okay to live under a belief system if you're able to create from that and do whatever it is you want still. So time, past, present, and future is a belief system, but you can also use it when you need it because it has been created. That's the best way I could describe it to you. Oh, yeah, I do have the member option on here if y'all want to join and become members of the YouTube channel, is on the channel page. Sprinkles. Oh, you got my Patreon? Sprinkle, sprinkle. And remember, just because you believe in one thing does not mean you believe in it forever. You know what I mean? You met a client yesterday who's an artist and sold paintings worldwide. She never mentioned being formerly employed by NASA. I discovered last night by researching her. Cool. But you know what? Maybe she doesn't identify with working for NASA because employed versus being is two different things. She was employed by a company versus she's an artist now worldwide. Like, I'm global as well, but that's not what I went to school for. And that's not a company that I've worked for before. But now I can say that I'm global. So I definitely see from that perspective sometimes, because that is my perspective, that is my perspective because I can see the same thing. I don't go around telling people the companies I work for. I'm on YouTube, baby. I am global. And if aliens got a good old satellite, shoot, I'm universal. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If I believe in aliens. Magical minister, just because I miss you all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, you got UFO kamikaze for real. You just realized this weekend that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It's a spell inviting weapons to be formed against you in the first place. Shoot, if you believe in weapons, sprinkle, sprinkle. All you gotta do is sing the Michael Jackson song. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Shoot. If you break the word down and chop it up, let's say something else. Weapons. We ain't open. We ain't open, baby. Honestly, that's the truth. Like, it's a way of tricking someone. Like, we try to trick James into agreeing to for us to get something, for Christmas. And we wrote our Christmas list and we wrote an accessory down that goes with the thing that we want. Trying to sneak it in there, like, we're gonna get it, so we need the accessories to go with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. Did I get in contact with my soul family yet? Well, I don't have a quote unquote soul family, and I've never had a Jerry curl, so I've never needed soul glow. Okay. So, I don't know. Do I believe in a soul family? Or do they believe in themselves? If you don't know which MJ song, then you don't know which MJ song. You got to learn them. All right. If I don't know what MJ song you're talking about, then you better learn them. You better, you gotta be able to pull the reference, baby. Um, so yeah, you know, you always wondered if you could be seen by other beings somehow. Shoot, yeah, why do you have to wonder that? People think ghosts are looking at them naked all the time. They still be getting naked though. Okay, look, I don't care about a ghost looking at me naked. Shoot, they might be liking it. Okay, who knows? They may not like it. Maybe they'll go haunt somewhere else. But at the same time, who cares? We be taking pictures and catching ghosts, and whatever they died in is what they got on, and they got to walk for an eternity. So if they had a bad outfit on, died naked, died in their underwear, whatever, that's what they got on. At least we could change clothes. Anyway, he said they lurking. Shoot, if I was a ghost, I'd be lurking too. Shoot, what the heck? Ain't nothing else to do. Um, they like, let me see. Well, that's what happened when you live in your mama house. You ain't got nothing else to do. All right. Um. Anyway, that's more for my other channel. You said I'm roasting ghosts. What they gonna do? You said what they gonna do? You said no one is safe. They're roasting ghosts. I'm not roasting ghosts. I love you to code stuff and expand and deeper meaning. Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, I'm just joking. Y'all know people have a sense of humor. They like to joke around and they have fun. They're not always so serious all the time. Even my jokes are just jokes. I have fun. It's fun because it it breaks up the monotony of being so serious all the time. I don't care what a ghost think about me. I could care less. If it keeps haunting me, then it must like me. Okay. I don't know. I just have that type of personality. Even ghosts love me, baby. I can't help it. Be like, I know if I was a ghost, I would love me too. But I haven't figured out how to come back and hunt myself yet. But if I create a way, I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Or if I create a way, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Oh, maybe I just did. So it's just like, well, before they introduced, I'll say, holographic technology to where you could watch someone perform um, on a stage that was never there, that was not there. Um, They would just get a double. Um, Hold on one second. But now they have that technology, so they don't need double. Just make a stage and put the hologram on it, and there you go. A concert with no singer. Hilarious. You know, I feel that's why whatever you believe in or create, you know, is your choice. You need your ghost to start contributing up in here. Well, if you need a ghost to start contributing, let me show you what you got to do. Get you a dry erase board and write a note to the ghost and put rent and utilities down, and that they better somehow make this amount of money appear somehow, some way every month, and in your bank account, you know, in cash money, however, but it better be there, or else you call it the Ghostbusters. Sprinkle, sprinkle. See what happens. See what happens. But at the same time, if you don't believe in ghosts, you can't really write that and expect it to be true or to happen either. So, unless you're pretending to believe in ghosts at that given time to learn how something works with the imagination, then it'll work. Okay. You said, I just do what I want and create my reality. If I don't like something, I change it with my mind, take a nap, and wake up to a different reality. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Why not? You don't even have to take a nap. You just close your eyes and turn around 3 times and say, I'm saved, I'm stopped, I'm locked, or whatever words you like to use, and bam, there you go. Um, so whatever way you choose to do anything, it's up to you. You said you saw how people will rent out spirits. You mean you saw how someone created the idea that a spirit could be rented out? That's what you observed. You know what I mean? We can't, like, you're believing that literally. No, don't believe that. Only believe what you choose to believe, only to study it. Never believe anything. Only to study, and remember, you're there to study, not to believe. Okay. And and I guarantee you, if you believe that, you're going to find the same idea and concept somewhere in a movie, on YouTube, on Netflix, on Hallmark Channel, on cable, stars, HBO, whatever. You're going to find the same type of movie where they're actually doing that very same thing, because it's an idea and it's a creation and it's not a belief. It is only what you make it. So if you believe it, then it is real in your reality. If you're only there to study how it was created by the creator of that reality, then that's what that is. It's just like watching a movie or watching a documentary of an inventor, how they created whatever they invented. Do you believe in that invention as if it's a magical thing? Sorcery, No, you study the inventor, you see how it was invented, and then you go on to create your own. You don't sit there and believe in it. You don't sit up there like on Man in Black and sit in a locker and worship a picture of a dude that rented out a locker. Okay? That's what I'm saying. But if you want to study how they came to that conclusion, then you have to temporarily believe to study. That's it. Like I said, it's going to be on a movie because it's an idea, not a belief. And even ideas can be recreated. And you can change base ideas into new ideas, into your own ideas, and then into reality that you choose to be in. Um, how to talk on the platform. See you on the Master Teacher's next live. How to talk on a platform. What do you mean, how to talk on a platform? Honestly, however you want. There is no rules. There are no rules. You don't have to use proper English if improper English serves your purpose. Okay? That's why. So, if you're a master teacher, then obviously you believe in someone, because in order to become a master, you have to believe in someone. Okay? Did you ever see the ceremony ritual during? Yeah, I saw that fake stuff. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The orchestration. I would have just took the shortcut and spray painted it on the stage floor or on the floor and colors that resembled the same colors of a diagram that was on the computer instead of just doing all of that. And I mean, it's also very possible in a movie to create that without creating it. You know what I'm saying? Something can be created without being created. It's called illusion. You know what I'm saying? So if I wanted a way for people to believe something was possible, I'd have to create a way for them to believe it was possible. And even if I did not create it physically, I could create it on screen as a concept, as an idea. I can film bits and pieces of something and put all the pictures together to make it look interesting enough to believe. But that doesn't make it true. If I believe something, it's only to study how it was created and then go and create whatever I choose. Because nothing is true. It is all a perspective, a creation. If you believe in it, you believe in that perspective, creation, and reality. And therefore, you will explore that world. And you'll have fun until you start believing. And then go believe in something else, totally different. So unless someone has a tour of the facility that I can take my phone into and record live, I don't know. But I would first have to believe it exists in order for that to become part of my reality, to even be invited to. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I might not believe that, not even to study it. You know, you don't even have to study something and be underground to even know that it exists or the idea. You could spray paint a model on the floor and bam, you standing right over it. Like somebody I know did. Okay. How can you achieve ultimate beauty? Believe that you are already ultimately beautiful. Study what made you beautiful and then go create that beauty. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what you want. That's what plastic surgeons be doing. Oh no, we can't have that. We have to perfect and recreate your standard of beauty. Let's go do that. Okay. Well, let me draw some lines on you first. We gotta mark our territory. We need to cut this off, cut that off, and then we're gonna take the scalpel and slice. And then when you wake up, you'll be in the new reality. Literally. No, you ain't. No, I ain't. Shoot, I look good already. Have you ever noticed most plastic surgeons are ugly or not cute? Sprinkle, sprinkle. They don't believe in the concept of beauty, especially if they're ugly. They believe in the money that they can make off of people that believe in the concept of beauty. Okay, because I can do that too. Like, well, I believe in the concept of beauty to study it in order to leave and then go recreate it and then go recreate it again and do whatever I choose to do in between or create it on a whole different scale, create it in a different way and rename it. Okay, that's all you have to do. I watched this guy video. He was shaming older women in the mid 30s and then ended the video by saying he has money, education, and success. He said he date a 22-year-old and treat her like gold. That's because she's stupid. Or that's because he believes she's stupid. Two different stories. Believes. See, when you get in the trap of belief, that's a trap. You can't believe something. You can't underestimate people just because of their age. You can't think something is better or worse because of this or their age. What I'm going to tell you is you can believe it temporarily to study it, but you cannot believe it because as you can see, it's not always the case. She wants to play her with potential. 30 isn't old. She just using girl. Yeah, 30 ain't old. I'd be looking for older if I was 22. I'm like, 30, you too young. Next. Like where your daddy at? Let me talk to him, okay? You go back to where you I don't know. Goodbye. Believing the knowing, honestly, that's just my preference. I guess it's the same thing as an old man wanting a young woman is a young woman wanting an older man. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. They gonna do whatever I want because they old and I'm young. Or they gonna do whatever I want because I'm educated and what? And paid. No, they ain't. Or maybe they will. But see the bad thing about the 22-year-old, she gonna get older. And the good thing is about the old man, he gonna get older. You see how Never mind. Y'all get it. Anyway, but the 22-year-old will always be young to the older man. Y'all got to make time work for you. Not the other way around. Learn from the professionals. Love is the emotion that God elevated the woman with. If you believe in love, if God believes in love, if whoever believes in love, using the word love, I guess. I just want to touch and kiss, and I wish that it could be with you tonight. You give me butterflies. Yeah, that's like one of the hardest songs to sing. Karaoke. I tried, and it was like, mic too good, mic too good. Have you seen Doja Cat's video with The Weeknd? No, I haven't seen the video. I'll see if I can find it and watch it or check it out. I don't know. You say you don't believe in taxes? If you don't believe in taxes, now you have to also understand, or you have to study taxes first and then get out before you believe in them. If you don't believe in taxes, that's the same thing as not believing in time, but you still got to watch the clock, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That doesn't mean you believe in them. If you don't believe in a lot of things, then you can create other things to compensate for what you don't believe in as well. Like, oh, I don't believe it's hard to do this or that. Money flows easily. Then you got money to pay the taxes you don't believe in because it doesn't matter. You see? Just like you have a phone with the time on it, even if you don't believe in time, it's still on there. And you know where you got to be when you got to be there so that you don't have to sit somewhere outside for 20 hours because you say you were going to meet someone there and they didn't give you a specific time. So you use it when you have to, and you don't use it when you don't have to. It doesn't mean you believe in it. It just means it's a tool. Do you believe in a tool? Do you believe in a screwdriver? Do you believe in a hammer? Do you believe in a dingle hopper? No. It's a tool that you use to create. So many people fall under beliefs instead of using them as tools. It's a tool. It's a tool. I'm a tool. You're a tool. This is a tool. Okay? He said, please explain the time and watching the clock more, please. So if I said, I want to meet up with you in a physical form on the same day, okay, well, what location? Okay, this location, at this restaurant on this street. Okay, great. I'll see you there. What time does the restaurant open? Okay, 7 o'clock. What time does it close? It's open 24 hours. But how does it open at 7? Anyway, it's open all day, depending on the location. Some are open, some are not. Okay, so this one is open 24/7. Great. Now, I have 24 hours in order for me to, by chance, show up when you're there. You see what I'm saying? Why time is a tool? Well, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock It's easier because I don't have to show up there and just sit there and wait for 24 hours for it. We can agree upon a time and say, I'll see you there. But if you don't agree upon a time, then you're going to be wondering, is the person there yet? Do I need to go now? Are they there going to be there in the middle of the night? Are they going to be in the afternoon? Well, I got to do this in the afternoon. Am I going to miss them? Da, da, da. You just basically, time is a tool in order for people to be able to um, do certain things together or meet certain people at a certain time or to arrive or leave at a certain time. That's all it's there for. So you're not just aimlessly wasting valuable, I guess what you would call it, space or time. So you say you always late. You don't pay attention to time for the same reason. I don't even. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like in time, like people get mad when you're late. Some people get mad when you're too early. So either way, as long as it's around the time, it's fine. As long as it's around time, you good. Okay. But we'll just show up and we'll get there when we get there. But you should be there because if depending on how excited you are versus how whatever, we're gonna be there at the same time eventually. You said taxes believe in you. Like I said, somebody wanted something and they created it. Okay. And so many people believed it that they became part of a reality where a lot of people believe in something. You know what I'm saying? So if everyone stopped believing in a concept and no longer, you know, as a group of people and they no longer abided by that belief system, then it would no longer exist. Okay. But at the same time, we wouldn't even need them if people could think like that. Okay. That's why it's important to learn and teach people versus just to try to get them to believe in a belief system that is not very beneficial to them. Um, you know what I'm saying? I would choose to teach people how to do something um, versus teaching them to believe in something that's non-beneficial. Okay. How to feel more comfortable around others. Um, s- find others that have a similar way of thinking. They don't have to have the same beliefs or non-beliefs or ways of creating, but similar thinking to where you guys can communicate and be able to have a conversation or just a dialogue at least. But like when you are around certain types of people and on a totally different mind, way of thinking, it's almost as if they are not going to really be able to talk to you about anything or talk to you and communicate anything useful. So it's like, why bother? But if you don't want them for that reason, I think this is where a lot of types of sort of relationships develop. It's almost like, I don't want you in a relationship for this reason, but I would like you in a relationship for this reason or that reason and this reason, that reason, that reason. I like your style, I like the way you teach, I like this, I like that. But sometimes someone wants you know, to talk and have a conversation with someone and believe what they believe. And that's just not possible if you don't have the ability or the need to believe in something rather other than studying it. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in certain things only to study and to look at it and say, okay, uh-huh. But at the same time, if you have a belief in something temporarily, you could also find yourself um, negotiating if this is a reality that you would like to believe in. And if you decide, okay, well, I'm sick of this reality, I'm out, then you no longer believe in it. Or you could say, I'm sick of this, you know, this time, I'm out. So it's almost as if you could choose what you want at any given time, or any given space, or in any given belief, temporary belief. So, how do I feel comfortable around others? Pretend that I'm on their level. You know how to say, oh, you got to come down to earth, or you got to, you got to be all extra, or you got to act this way, or you got to level up, or you got to do this, and that. Just act the way that you need to act around certain people. You know, that's it. Or if you don't even want to feel comfortable around others, then be uncomfortable around others. No one ever said you have to be comfortable around other people. That's not something that is required. Can you erase people from your reality? Can you? Do you still talk to your third grade teacher? Do you still talk to your fifth grade teacher? Do you still talk to your ex uh, employer from 10 years ago? You know? You said this radiation don't seem like it's giving what it's supposed to give because you believe in it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And it's not a belief system. It's a theory. And along with theories comes experiments. And along with experiments comes documentation. And along with documentation comes people to read and study. And people who read and study tend to learn and believe in what they're reading and studying. You see? So that's why it's not doing what it do. Because somebody done figured it out. Okay. The past is the past. And that is. How do you pretend that you're on a level while being an empath? I've done what you're saying, but it's left me drained. Acting. There's a difference between empath and acting. Act, baby, act. You have people that play roles that have no idea what they're saying in those scripts. They don't even know what it means. They just act like they know what it means. Okay. Just like when y'all used to say the Pledge of Allegiance in the classroom and y'all just memorized the script. Y'all didn't know and analyze and knew what that meant. You didn't have the empathic, you weren't an empath to what the lyrics of that song really meant and who wrote it and why they sang it in the first place. Or that's the national anthem, or the Pledge of Allegiance. You're just repeating something somebody told you to repeat. It's a totally different story. Act. And then when people realized what they were doing or the meaning of it, or they actually studied the words of, the Pledge of Allegiance, they say, oh, well, I don't want to say it. Or when they listen to the lyrics of the national anthem, they say, I don't want to stand or sing for it. Great. That's your choice. Don't believe in something that you don't believe in or that you don't choose to believe in. I will never believe in something that I don't choose to believe in or study at the time. So that's how you pretend, by acting. I gotta go in a second. Do you ever see if you can expand their minds to have conversation on your level? I try, but sometimes they're acting and they're not really paying attention or listening or anything like that. So it's a waste of, energy. Sometimes, it it helps, but sometimes it doesn't. So you just got to choose, if someone's truly interested in actually learning something or rather they're acting. And and even if they learn something to communicate with you, doesn't mean they believe in it. Okay. How to prepare for the years to come. You want to travel, but you're not for the BS requirements. Um, Honestly, for me, I never planned on traveling, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like if I travel, it's gonna be somewhere where it don't matter where I go. You know, it's not going. I'm not concerned about that, so I don't think about it. So I don't care. Somebody said travel by car. If you're trying to leave and go somewhere else, there are loopholes. There's ways around stuff if you just learn. Do you think everyone that leaves the country actually has to abide by the rules that the people that believe in rules believe in? Have to abide by? No, they don't. Why? Because they don't believe in it. So stop believing. Be done. Just be done. Just like I'm done. I'm done. um, you get away with so much because you don't believe in the world's construct. Exactly. I don't either. Bye. Look, I don't believe in anything that seems forced. I don't believe in anything that seems required. I don't believe in anything that seems as if I don't have a choice. I don't believe in any of those things. If I could not find loopholes or I was too lazy to find the loophole to not have to deal with them, then I'm going to choose to create a way around it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to believe in something that I don't even want. I'm not going to believe in something that I choose not to even want to live in that reality where it even exists. So stop doing that. Imagine yourself where you want to be. Imagine yourself to wherever you want to be, even if it's in your own house. Okay? Imagine you are in the Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland, and how did she get home? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do that. She didn't have to get on nobody plane. She did not have to ask a million questions. Well, she did. Alice did, but she didn't get no answers that made no sense. Um. So basically, create your way back to or to wherever destination you desire or wherever you want to be. What matters to you? You know what matters to me? That no one has to believe anything they don't want to, and that we are all creators. That's what matters to me. All right, I gotta go. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.